Good day. Before we start, let me introduce myself. I am Julius Lopez Jr. and I'm here as your instructor and to discuss to you the four varieties of graded exercise testing for all of you as my clients. First is the board rating perceived exertion scale or RPE. In this variety, don't concentrate on just one sensation while assessing your level of exertion when exercising. Get a basic idea of how hard you're working out. Instead of using metrics like speed while jogging or cycling, or comparing yourself to others, use your sensations of exertion. Then, using the Borg rating of perceived exertion scale, assign a value between 6 and 20 to your exertion. The scale begins at 6, which indicates that you are experiencing no exertion, such as merely standing motionless. When you're walking at a leisurely speed, you're on level 9. You're in the moderate intensity zone when you're at level 12 to 14. And it seems a little difficult, as when you walking quickly or running at leisurely pace, you're experiencing heavy effort at level 15 and higher. And you're in the vigorous intensity zone, similar to when you're jogging. You might be perplexed as to why the Borg RPE scales begins at 6 and ends at 20. This is because it is intended to provide a reasonably accurate estimate of your real heart rate during activity. To get your predicted heart rate, multiply your RPE by 10. If your RPE is 12, for example, 12 times 10 is equals to 120 beats per minute. The scale was created with the average healthy adult in mind. Your maximal heart rate and hence your heart rate zones at different levels of activity are affected by your age and physical condition. Check which heart rate corresponds to which zone for you, because monitoring one's heart rate is not a reliable indicator of one's exercise intensity. The Borg RP is beneficial for persons who take drugs that impact their heart rate or pulse. Second is the target heart rate, percent of maximum heart rate or HR max or Carbonen formula heart rate reserve. HR max or the conventional approach is a straightforward way to determine your maximum heart rate. Start by subtracting 220 from your age. Then using the result, determine your range. Your heart gets more capable of pumping blood to the rest of your body as you are more physically fit. By incorporating the difference between your maximal heart rate and your resting heart rate. The Carbonen technique, also known as the heart rate reserve formula, incorporates your resting heart rate. Take your HR max and subtract your resting heart rate to get your HRR or RHR. Before getting out of bed, average the sum of your resting pulses for 3 consecutive mornings for a more accurate calculation. Your heart rate reserve multiplied by the proportion of intensity plus your rating heart rate is the Carbonen formula. Third is the metabolic equivalence. The metabolic equivalent for the task or MET is a measurement of how much energy the body expends during physical activity versus resting metabolism. The unit is standardized so that it may be used to compare different activities and can be used to persons of various body weights. MET can be measured in either oxygen consumption or kilocalories, what you commonly think of as calories. You may compare the amount of effort required for various activities by utilizing MET. You burn twice as many calories per minute at 2 MET as you do at rest. Your body weight determines the quantity of calories expended every minute. A person who is heavier burns more calories per minute than someone who is lighter. And last is the maximum oxygen consumption, or VO2 max. The greatest quantity of oxygen a person can use during intensity activity is measured by VO2 max. also known as maximal oxygen uptake. It is a frequent test used to determine an athlete's aerobic endurance before or during training. It's one of a number of tests used to assess an athlete's cardiovascular fitness and performance potential. In most cases, VO2 max testing is done in the sports performance lab. Most of the time, it's graded, which, mean the, which means the intensity is properly measured and gradually raised over time. You can use a treadmill or a stationary bicycle. You will be equipped with a face mask that is attached to a machine that will assess your breathing rate and volume, as well as the concentrations of oxygen and carbon dioxide in inhaled and exhaled air prior to the test. To measure your heart rate, a heart strap will be wrapped around your chest. That's all. I hope you learned something from me and apply it to your future preference or exercises. Thank you.